president, ending the year by passing tax reform.
Everything in here is really tremendous things for businesses, for people, for the middle class.
Washington, it's about Washington's slow speed. When President Trump is here, it's about Trump speed. That means getting things done quickly, a result-driven president.
An ex-Marine turned Muslim convert is accused of planning a Christmas Day terror attack. Everett Jameson arrested after the FBI caught wind of his plan to use explosives and guns at San Francisco's Pier 39.
SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 rocket from Vandenberg Air Force Base.
You guys, that's really weird.
There's another one coming out of it.
Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane.
Santa, also known as an aviation survival technician, rappelled down from the helicopter, greeting people at Air Station Barbers Point in Oahu.
In the merry months say no man, but you can do the job while you're in town. Later on we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we've made, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he's a circus clown. We'll have lots of fun with Mr. Snowman until the other kitties knock him down. When it snows, ain't it thrilling? Though your nose gets a chillin', we'll frolic and play the Eskimo way, walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland.
Hey!
Hey,
That's
wow.
beautiful.
Hey,
Their parents must be so proud. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, what a start
But
to a brand new
Nassau
hour.
County Girl Scouts
But Pete, I
rocking us out all
have to
morning.
tell you, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I heard you singing as well while they were singing.
Yeah, not good.
I would much prefer to listen to them.
Yeah, try to listen more.
That's why our mics
Don't
were
quit
muted.
your day job, my friend.
I have not.
You're
I've
much
just
better at that.
Only been a member of a chorus where no one can hear my individual voice.
Well, we were,
I'm sorry to burst
no,
your
it's okay.
bubble,
You
my
guys
friend.
were awesome.
Yeah,
all right?
well done, girls.
And unbelievable.
Girl Scouts
Beautiful.
of Nassau County on Long Island, right here in New York. They're wonderful. Get you in the spirit. We've also been asking you, how are you getting into the spirit? Send in your photos, friends@foxnews.com. Laura sends this wonderful photo of her granddaughter, Natalie, meeting Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
Very happy and well behaved. We like to see that. And then we've got Marty shares this moment of his granddaughter, Honora, waiting to see Santa and loving Santa's Christmas tree.
What a
That it
beautiful-
might be the definition of the picture of innocence.
That's such a
right
beautiful
there.
picture. And Linda sends this picture of her daughter after they decorated their Christmas tree.
A lot of that'll be going on today. You know, people, we talk about shopping on Saturday and all of that. You know, these are probably for most people family days. You know, you wrap a gift.
People have more
you're
money
hanging
in their
out.
pocket right
Well,
now.
More money
that's
in their pocket too, Ed. Why, Ed?
I think there was a tax cut I heard about.
Was it a
there-
little one?
is that what
It's
happened?
been marinating
Is it a little
for a
one
few
or a big
hours.
one?
The big,
It's a
beautiful tax cut? Is that the one you're
big,
talking
beautiful
about?
tax cut. You've been
Huge.
excited.
I've been marinating. I do think, in all seriousness, Merry Christmas, by the way, to all of our
Well, we
viewers
did
this morning.
technically marinate earlier with the cooking segment.
We did.
so.
I'm physically marinating.
not you
now
personally,
I am
but-
ideologically and patriotically marinating in these historic tax cuts that hit the desk of President Trump yesterday. He signed it at the Resolute desk in the Oval Office, this tax cut. No members of Congress were there because they had already gone back home. And you said it earlier, Lisa, it's almost fitting that he signed it alone.
Well, because it kind of has been him against everyone. I mean, even during the election, during the general election, everyone was against him. There's a lot of Republicans who were not on board. The media was certainly not on board. So it was sort of him against everyone. But there's also, I think it's important to note that he did do that big press conference with all of the other Republican members of Congress behind him talking about tax reform. So, you know, he did do that and give credit to all the people who worked really,
Democrats
really hard
have
on
been
this.
beating this thing to death, and that may be why, or likely why, it's at 18% popularity in that Wall Street Journal poll you mentioned. People don't think the tax cut is going to help them because they've heard these Democratic talking points about it being for the rich. The president yesterday in the Oval Office said, I'm not going to have to go out on the road. Those poll numbers are going to turn around because it's going to sell itself. Watch.
This is something that Republicans wanted for years and Democrats wanted for years, and yet it never got done. Who would object to trillions of dollars being brought back into our country? The bottom line is this is the biggest tax cuts and reform in the history of our country. This is bigger than actually President Reagan's. many years ago. I'm very honored by it. Democrats don't like tax cuts. They want to raise your taxes. They don't want to lower your taxes. They want to raise your taxes, and they want to spend money foolishly on things that we don't need in many cases. I really do believe, and I said on social media today, I really do believe we're going to have a lot of bipartisan work done. And maybe we start with infrastructure, because I really believe infrastructure can be bipartisan.
Republicans do have their work cut out for them, though, because as Ed mentioned earlier, a Wall Street Journal poll, only 17% of Americans think they're getting a tax cut, even though 80% of Americans will get a tax cut. So they need to get that message out.
You know, part of the reason this is even more historic than Ronald Reagan, not just size and scope, but Ronald Reagan had Tip O'Neill. He had good faith partners on the Democrat side willing to work on a tax cut and who helped take credit for it. Not a single Democrat ever helped or ended up voting for this bill.
Either the House or the Senate.
In the House or the Senate. I mean, it also shows you how far the Democrats have gone. I mean, this was the party of JFK that cut taxes. Now they're against any tax cut because they are the party of tax and spend. So the president gets the credit for this, along with a few Republicans.
Mitch McConnell got beat around by this president after the failure on repealing and replacing Obamacare. There were some pretty tough tweets.
A little back and forth.
Yeah, he said at one point that maybe McConnell should be replaced.
You know, light friendly banter. But Mitch McConnell is saying that maybe he's coming around to the tweeting a little bit. Listen.
You had a pretty tense period with the president. He publicly criticized you. How specifically has your relationship evolved since that point?
Regarding the president's tweeting habits, I haven't been a fan until this week.
Now he's a fan. And look, you know what the Republicans may really benefit from is low expectations. When you talk about the 17% saying, I'm going to get a tax cut. Hang on a second. Now you have all these companies coming out, PNC, $1,000 bonus to 90% of their employees. Bank of America, $1,000 bonus already as the tax cut is being signed.
AT&T, Comcast as well.
Exactly.
And it's not just the bonuses either. It's also investment. We had Comcast, I think, say that they're going to dedicate $50 billion over the next few years to infrastructure. Also, AT&T had promised before the tax reform bill became law that if they got it done, they would invest $1 billion. So it's also investments as well, not just these employee
That could mean jobs.
Think about the contrast that's happening, because the Democrats are yelling about Armageddon and Frankenstein, saying the rich are only going to get richer, right? And then middle class are not going to get a tax cut. Wait until February, when more money starts appearing in the bank accounts.
That's when the IRS says the withholding will change.
And how big of an impact do you think that will have on voters?
Well, think about, no, that's what I'm saying. The middle class then has money coming into their pockets on February and March, and the wealthy are yelling about how their taxes have gone up. Well, think about that. A lot of the wealthiest Americans are going to pay more taxes under this bill. So you're going to have the wealthy yelling, my taxes went up, and you're going to have the middle class saying, hey, I got more money.
I'm not into raising taxes for the wealthy.
No one's saying. But a simplification of the code, yeah, and all of that is going to cause unintended consequences.
But that leads the media to say, oh, wait a second, the president is going to take it on the chin. They've been predicting he's going to lose on just about every battle that he's had over the last year, maybe the last 2 years going back to the campaign. Now the narrative is that Republicans are going to get crushed in the midterms. But it makes you wonder, when you look at these headlines, Vox talking about the 2018 midterms, polling looks extremely good for Democrats. Mike, polling and history point to a historic Democratic wave coming in 2018. And CNN, Democrats' 2018 advantage expands, they say. Look, to be sure, you know, the president who's in power, Democrat or Republican, usually has a very tough midterm election the first time around.
Sure.
However, to say the trouble is expanding as a tax cut that's going to go to the middle class is just about to be delivered. That's a stretch.
But you would know it was going to the middle class if you read a lot of the headlines. Even the Associated Press tweeted after the House had passed the bill that it was going to it was going to corporations, it was going to the rich. There was no mention in the tweet about middle class families, yet as I mentioned earlier, 80% of Americans are going to get a tax cut. So you're not hearing that, though, if you're watching some of these other networks.
You know what, I don't know if we can put those headlines back up, but nobody believes them. Who in the media has credibility? So-called mainstream media, the left-wing media, all these newsrooms here in New York City. No one buys it because they're all liberals and they all hate the president. And so they're going to use any moment, even a moment of success for the president, to say the Democrats' advantage is going to expand in 2018. That's why you see CNN there. The president calls them very fake news.
I don't endorse.
I'm forced to watch them in the airport, and it's offensive.
Does anyone think that that's some wishful thinking projected in the headlines there?
Look, I don't buy into all of Pete's anti-media stuff. I'm a journalist, but what I will say is a lot of those journalists, you're right, were wrong. They said Donald Trump is going to lose. So now why would you believe them when they say he'll lose in the midterms? Republicans are going down. Maybe. Let's see how it plays out. But if you were the same people who predicted Donald Trump will never win, not just the presidency, he'll never win the nomination.
Yeah.
They were wrong.
Predicted he would never get any big legislative victories done either, which clearly happened this week.
Or that ISIS would be defeated in Iraq and Syria this quickly because you untie the hands of our war fighters. I mean, to your point, they're impugning their credibility themselves, and I think only fair reporting is what's going to dig these reporters
Let's
out of the
do it.
hole. Should we try?
Merry Christmas.
Love it. This is like a Christmas
We
miracle.
have peace on the couch.
Peace on earth.
It's a Christmas miracle, a Fox and Friends Christmas
Peace at
miracle.
least right here. That's right. Well,
It's
we've got a
because
few
I'm here to
we've got a few more
moderate.
headlines here, and she's more than a moderator. We've got a Fox News alert. Police officers, this is a tough one, targeted in a shooting spree overnight. The Fed's now working to determine whether it was an act of terrorism. A man with ties to the Middle East opening fire on officers in several locations in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The 51-year-old, who also recently traveled to the Middle East, being another signal, was shot and killed by police during a gunfight. A female state trooper was wounded but is expected to be okay. We will continue following that story and bring developments when we have them. And an ex-Marine turned Muslim convert is accused of planning a Christmas Day terror attack. Everett Jameson arrested after the FBI caught wind of his plan to use explosives and guns at San Francisco's Pier 39. The 26-year-old hoping to create, quote, another attack like New York or San Bernardino in response to President Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Feds tipped off when idiot terrorist Jameson posted posts on Facebook praising ISIS.
ISIS is good.
Giveaway.
Yeah, that's going to get the Fed.
That'll do it. Well, the huge wildfire that burned hundreds of homes in Southern California is now the largest in the state's recorded history. State fire officials say that the Thomas fire has scorched more than 273,000 acres. That's 154 acres larger than the 203 Cedar fire in San Diego. Still, they say, however, the Thomas fire is only 65% contained. And those are your headlines.
All right.
Ed Henry is only 85% contained.
And Ed Henry has a read, which he's very grateful for.
You can't stop me. You can only hope to contain
That's-
me. Isn't that the old ESPN thing?
They did say that.
All right, coming up, Ambassador Nikki Haley slamming the UN after it denounced President Trump's decision on Jerusalem.
We will remember it when so many countries come calling on us, as they so often do, to pay even more.
So, should the U.S. take the money we give to the UN and use it to build the wall? Dr. Sebastian Gorka is here. I have a feeling I know what he might say.
We'll see. Plus, we honor our service members year-round here on Fox and Friends. But today, we're helping this military family. They're going to Skype with their son, who's currently serving overseas in the Navy. You're not going to want to miss
This is going to be the best segment of the whole show. I love it. I can't wait.
And we will remember it when so many countries come calling on us, as they so often do, to pay even more.
Well, despite tough words from UN Ambassador Nikki Haley this week, the United Nations denounced America's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital.
So, should the U.S. take the money we give to the UN and reallocate it to build the wall instead back home? Some conservatives are suggesting that. Here to weigh in, Fox News contributor, former deputy assistant to President Trump, the one, the only, Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Good to see you, sir. What say you about taking the money, the millions and millions we give to the UN, and saying we're going to build the wall back here at home?
Well, Merry Christmas, guys. It would be a great Christmas present for all Americans. Let's just look at the numbers. We have almost 200 nations in the UN, 193. As a result, we should pay what? 0.5%. If this was a club where everybody was equally pulling their own weight, we'd be paying 0.5% of UN costs. We are paying one nation, the greatest nation on God's earth, I get it, but we are paying more than 20% of the UN's budget. If you look at the peacekeeping activities, the military side of the house, we are paying almost a third, 28% of the UN's budget. And what do we get in return? We are constantly attacked by great democracies such as Venezuela, such as Iran. And our best buddy in the Middle East, Israel, is constantly lambasted by the globalist leftists, the UN. So yeah, it's time to do something. I don't know if it's taking our money and putting it towards the wall, but Nikki Haley is doing an amazing job, and we should keep on pushing against their agenda.
Well, Doctor, a lot of people are looking at the funding, and we pulled the top 5 countries who receive our aid that voted against the U.S. and voted against Israel. Those names at the top are very familiar. You've got Iraq, $4.3 billion, Afghanistan, $4.2, Egypt, Jordan, and Pakistan. You know, as a veteran myself who served in both Iraq and Afghanistan, you look at all that we've done for those countries, all that we've given, all that we've sacrificed and bled, and they turn around and vote against us. It's going to make a lot of people feel like, are you grateful at all?
Right. Exactly. Look at the last 16 years. Look at those nations. Look at how much money not only have we spent in the Middle East and had our troops, people like yourselves, serve there, bleed for the United States, but also the amounts of money that we're giving these countries constantly. I mean, we're talking about billions and billions. And what do they do? When we take a decision, as is our sovereign right, we decide where our embassy goes. And then you have the temerity, you have the barefaced cheek to tell us that we can't decide where we put our embassy. Well, not right.
Dr. Sebastian Gorka, putting it as only he can. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Good to see you.
Merry Christmas. All right, coming up, we honor our service members all year round here on Fox and Friends.
That's right.
But today, we're helping this military family. They're going to Skype for the first time in a long time with their son, who's currently serving overseas in the Navy. He's been in the South China Sea patrolling as well. You're not going to want to miss this.
Plus, if you still haven't finished your Christmas shopping, we got you covered. We have the gifts you can buy from the drugstore, the gas station, that'll still be a hit. You won't want to miss it. Some quick headlines. A federal appeals court ruling against President Trump's travel ban on Friday. This is the third version. It says it violates the law. But the court defers final ruling to the Supreme Court, and so the restrictions will remain in effect during the appeals process. Under the order, as you remember, visas are limited for citizens of 8 countries, many of which are predominantly Muslim. And Border Patrol police seizing $1.3 million worth of drugs in 2 separate incidents in Texas. Among them, 109 pounds of cocaine seen here. Officers using an X-ray system along with special canines to make those drug busts. Pete?
Thanks, Ed. Well, 'tis the season for procrastination. According to the National Retail Federation, 53% of Americans still need to finish their Christmas shopping. That means 1 in 2 of you watching right now still have some shopping to do. If you're one of those 126 million people, our next guest has got you covered.
Right, you're in luck, because joining us now with some last-minute gift buying tips, consumer savings expert Andrea Warrock.
Yeah.
So Andrea, you know, and it's not just procrastination. You've got people, you know, they're working a bunch of jobs, they're super busy. So what do they do? Online ordering, same-day pickup delivery, what can they do with that?
Right, you can still take advantage of those online deals and pick up same day in store. So a lot of stores are offering same-day pickup like Target, JCPenney, and Macy's. So not only are you saving the hassle of going in, locating the product, waiting in long lines, you're also saving money because a lot of those stores have online exclusive deals, and you can get cash back through sites like swagbucks.com. In fact, they even have a swag button that you add onto your browser that alerts you to deals and cash back when you're shopping online. So just take, for example, an Apple Watch. You're looking at saving $70 off of the Apple Watch Series 1 at Target.com, 20% off at Legos at them, and you can get 1% cash back at Swagbucks. And then Macy's, over 50% off these slippers. They even have same-day delivery in select cities, and you're getting 7% cash back at Macy's.
You may wake up this morning, open up the laptop, order some stuff, a couple hours later drive to the store, bing, bong, bing.
Exactly, and if you're really smart, have someone drive you so you don't have to look for a parking spot. There you go. Run in.
Look at that. But it's not just that. You say grocery stores and other types of places you can find some great deals.
Exactly. One-stop shopping is going to save you a lot of hassle, and warehouse stores like BJ's don't make it so it's not as hectic. You can find great value on that last-minute grocery shopping you need for your guests or household essentials like toilet paper or paper towels, plus really great value on gifts. So at BJ's, I found $15 off this Gotham Steel 10-piece aluminum cookware set, so you're getting that for just $75.
We've all seen the infomercials, too.
Exactly. Yep. So great. And then $20 off this Bila air convection fryer, so it's a really healthy way to fry food.
There you go.
And super easy. You can order that on BJ's.com as well. They have a pick up and pay in store, so you just run to the front of the store and pick up those items.
Okay, and so what about, drug stores or gas station gift card or gift ideas, things that you can get real quick?
Right, so think beyond the mall. When you're running errands, you have to pick up prescriptions. Go to a drugstore like CVS Pharmacy. They have unique, affordable, and unexpected gift ideas. You can find toys, electronics, like wireless headphones. Who thought you could get that at a pharmacy?
True.
And great stocking stuffers. And if you need some inspiration, they even have in-store displays broken up by personalities. So you can find stocking stuffers for a fashionista, for a jet setter, for the fitness fan. And if you order through their CVS Pharmacy app, you can get it delivered to your car through their curbside pickup.
Unless you don't want to let it go. Frozen?
Yeah.
Bad joke.
How about, what about some lottery tickets? I see lottery tickets.
Yeah,
I kinda
exactly.
like
So
that.
if you're driving out of town to celebrate the holiday, carve out a little extra time at the gas station because you're going to have to fill up your car. You can also run in. You can get cold weather accessories. A lot of them have gourmet food, so you can pick up some great hostess gifts and lottery tickets.
Can I see if I win the Rudolph Riches right now?
Yeah, of course. Like, as long as you give me a little,
as long as you get to collect the winnings.
Exactly.
15%. Yep.
We're negotiating.
Yes,
It's the art of the deal, right?
No, but I love this.
Did you win anything? Or
I
did
don't know, I'm
Andrea
still
win
working.
anything?
We're still working on it. Yeah, but it's a great idea. Put it in a stocking for an adult and be like, maybe it's $5, maybe it's 50,000. Who knows?
Well,
Exactly.
Andrea, we are lucky to have you because this is so helpful, particularly for folks that are scrambling right now. So thank you very much.
We're about to find out how lucky we really are.
Yeah, and then gift cards are always a great deal, too.
Awesome. Thank you so
Great
much.
stuff, Andrea. Thank you.
And coming up, it's happening again. A family told to take down a Jesus sign from the Christmas display just because one neighbor says it's offensive.
Great. Plus, the Navy sailor in the middle of this picture will be overseas for Christmas. But we will not forget him. We're about to give him a taste of the home for the holidays. His family will Skype with him live right here on Fox and Friends. You're not going to want to miss this. He's been out on a boat for a while. He's back in. They're going to connect.
Yeah, this will be special. Stay with us.
Yep. Now we're talking. Merry Christmas on a rainy day here on the island of Manhattan. We hope it's snowing or sunny wherever you are because it's only 2 days to Christmas.
But that's not going to keep us down because we've been celebrating Christmas all morning long since 6 a.m. onward, and we are definitely in the Christmas spirit here.
Yeah. And have you waited to the last minute? Yet again, the National Retail Federation says 53% of you plan to shop today on Super Saturday. That's what they call it now. They come up with a name for all of this. Black Friday, Super Saturday. 6% will still be shopping on Sunday, Christmas Eve. 5% have final gifts that won't be bought until, after Christmas.
Yes, so we asked all of you what you thought all morning long. We said email us at friends@foxnews.com about have you done any of your shopping. Well, Lindsay admits in a confessional that I haven't done any Christmas shopping yet, and at this point, there is no time for shopping. Today, I go hunting.
But Lindsay should not feel alone because 53% of Americans is a lot. And we also have an email from Charlotte who says that I do have all of my shopping done. My problem is that I have problems waiting to give the gifts. I have that problem too because you get a really good gift and you just want to give it away and see the person's reaction.
You get excited and then you can't wait till Christmas.
I know.
Jim writes in, down to cards and small stocking stuffers. I feel them because you get the big things out of the way and you got the kind of last minute things.
Oh, the stocking too. We got this picture from Terry. She did her shopping far in advance and it's quite
it looks pretty good. That's not bad to wake up to.
Terry, do you want to be a relative of mine?
Yeah, that is about
it. Just be friends. You don't have to be related.
Can we come over?
All right, keep emailing those pictures. Whatever we don't use today, we'll use tomorrow because we're all three of us will be back tomorrow. Friends.
We'll be back.
FoxNews.com.
Yep.
And Lisa's going to be on time tomorrow, so.
Maybe. Very nice.
No one's on time at Christmas. You're always late to your family meal.
I've been very sick the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been 14 days.
It's all right. She's getting better. Whoa.
I'm never going to live this down.
Great.
All right, let's turn to some serious headlines. World powers punishing North Korea for its latest missile test by unanimously approving tough new sanctions. The UN Security Council now limiting the country's access to refined oil and forcing all workers abroad to return to the rogue nation. The sanctions also cracking down on shipping to and from the country. A family, meanwhile, is fighting back after their neighborhood homeowners association demanded the removal of this Jesus Christmas display. The HOA initially saying a neighbor found their Christmas decoration offensive. Then a day later said their sign was just not allowed.
We in this family believe that the reason for the season is to celebrate the birth of Jesus.
And the family is standing their ground and keeping their decorations up, they say, until January 15th, when the rules say all displays must come down. Meanwhile, SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launch leaves Californians dazzled, dazed, confused.
You guys, that's really weird.
There's another one coming out of it. Is that a UFO?
Some even pulling over their cars just to get a glimpse.
What the? What is that?
SpaceX founder Elon Musk joking it was a, quote, nuclear alien UFO from North Korea. I think he was just joking. The rocket is carrying 10 satellites to orbit. Meanwhile, Christmas could be very merry this year. If you're lucky, the Powerball and Mega Millions have a combined jackpot totaling $546 million. Nobody won last night's Mega Millions drawing, making that jackpot grow to $277 million. And Powerball's jackpot is around $269 million. That is drawing today, so you better get out there.
That would be a very Merry Christmas.
How awesome would that be?
Pretty awesome.
All of a sudden, that tree would have a lot more presents. Now, some extreme weather. Winter here just in time for Christmas and the travel rush.
And the snow is already piling up from Montana to Michigan and all the way to upstate New York as well as New England.
Rick has been tracking it all morning. What are you seeing, Rick?
All the places where there should be snow right before Christmas. They definitely have it. Cold temperatures across the north, but take a look at this warm air that's on the eastern, kind of now lower third of the country, and that warm air is moving up towards the north. A big storm, though, is going to cause major delays across all the airports and make things really slow on the roads today. Unfortunately, the eastern third of the country, rain moving up, snow and freezing rain. You see all that pink? That's where we have some freezing rain going on right now. That's falling on top of snow that felt right below this. So really, really dangerous conditions on the roads all across parts of New England. Throughout the day today, warmer air eventually is going to move in and it's going to transition over to primarily rain. Then the cold air comes in quickly behind that again and cools it down, and we'll see more snow. Another storm here developing later on tonight and into tomorrow that's going to bring more snow for Christmas. There you go. Airport delays are going to be extreme across parts of the east, so just pack your patience as you're going along. Pete, send it over to you.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Well, super cool story here. As Christmas approaches, many of our military heroes will not be with their families. Instead, they'll be thousands of miles away fighting for our country while we celebrate and enjoy the freedoms of this Christmas holiday. We honor our service members year-round right here on Fox and Friends. But today, we're helping one military family in particular, the Mirandas, talk to their son, Elwin, who is serving overseas in the U.S. Navy. Joining me now are Elwin's parents, Nelson and Winelyn, along with brothers, Elwin's two brothers, Winnell and Lennell. And we thank you both for, all four of you, for joining us this morning. And first of all, what does it mean as a family member to not have your son home and away with the Navy during Christmas?
Well, actually, honestly, it's it's hard. We miss him a lot. And the communication is a little harder because of the different time zone, the different time zone between Japan and the United States. And we text each other, we just reply back whenever we get a chance. And if we want to see each other, we use Skype, to see each other, to communicate. And as a parent, it's a little kind of scared. I'm kind of scared because being in the military, there's a risk involved, and
especially in the Navy, in the South, he helps patrol the South China Sea, correct?
Correct.
So I mean that's a hot button part of the world right now. Mom, as you sit as a mother and look at this, first of all, when's the last time you actually saw your son in person, and how does it feel this Christmas to not be with him?
Oh, it's really tough this Christmas because it's gonna be his third time that we won't see him this Christmas. And considering we're only one here because all of our families in the Philippines.
Wow. As a brother, you'd probably love and admire your brother and what he's doing serving our country. What would your message be to him as he's out there? I don't know if he's patrolling. He was not patrolling right now, but he may be again soon, or was most recently.
Yeah, he just needs to stay strong. What he's doing for our country, it's really good.
Absolutely.
All of the troops.
So let me ask last brother, any additional comment, anything special that your brother normally brings to Christmas that you'll miss this year?
Just good luck.
Good luck. That's a good one. Well, let's Skype with him directly because that was the point here, is to connect this family and then let everyone in their living room watch you have a chance to talk to your son overseas. Elwin, are we able to dial you in on Skype here?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
Can you say hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So first of all, Dad, what would you like to say? What would you like to say to your son?
Alvin, I'm really proud of you, for stepping up to serve our country. Keep it up.
Yeah. Thank you.
How about you, Mom?
Oh, we really miss you. I hope to see you soon. When are you coming back home?
How about you? How about you guys? What do you brothers? What are your thoughts as you see him?
We really miss you. We hope you come back safe. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss you.
Well,
too.
guys, I don't know if you can tell that he's moving.
Why is he moving?
He's actually not in Japan. He's actually on 6th Avenue with a motorcade right outside those doors.
Really?
So that is him being led up the street on 6th Avenue in a car. See that car right there in the middle?
You're not kidding
In the
us.
middle there with the siren on it pulling up. And if you recognize this building, which all of us do pulling up for Fox and Friends, that is the studio.
That's why
right
he's
there.
laughing.
That's why he didn't know what to say to you.
He's laughing.
Is because he was moving and didn't really have an answer for the fact that you're going to ask him where he is, and he's actually in the back of a car arranged by our producers. So if you can, that's him getting out of his car right there. We never opened this door into the studio.
You're right.
But what do you think? Did you expect this at all?
He was, but I said no, they're not gonna do it.
Wow. Well, it's the type of thing we give so much on this program and love the troops and what they do on our holidays and during Christmas so much. There he is, your son,
Oh my God.
running by the planters outside on the plaza through those doors, live and in the flesh. Go ahead and say hello to your son.
Oh my God.
Welcome. How you doing? Welcome.
Good,
to
how are you?
Fox.
Thank
Awesome
you.
to have you. Thank you for. Go ahead. Don't get away from me.
Surprise.
Do you know about this? Oh my God.
It's a big surprise, Alvin.
Best Christmas gift ever.
Well,
Best.
Exactly.
amazing, amazing. Well,
Yeah, for doing
this operation was so secret, we didn't even know about it till
Oh
today.
my goodness.
We didn't want any leakers here letting you guys know about it.
Yeah, we didn't
What is it? How does
know.
it feel right now?
Oh, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so happy. This is the best Christmas gift ever.
I love it. Well,
Yeah.
when was the last? You told us. When was the last time you saw
August,
him
but
again?
it's only 2 days.
Only for 2
because-
days.
Yeah, it's so quick.
So how long is the Navy going to let you?
8 days.
8?
Yeah.
It's better than 2, right?
Oh, nice. You're gonna come with us in Florida?